Now back to Inside West Virginia Politics with Mark Curtis.
Welcome back to Inside West Virginia Politics. We are coming off of the big decision by Senator Joe Manchin to not run for governor and ultimately stay in the Senate. So for this week, we decided to bring in Stephen Smith, the only Democrat right now in the current governor 2020 race for here in West Virginia. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Tell me, when you heard that decision, what were your initial thoughts?
Mostly that we now get to do the thing we always knew we needed to do. That the thing that the state needed didn't change on the day that he made his announcement. We've always needed a movement, not a king, a new political infrastructure that involves all kinds of people, not one person to save us. You know, Jim Justice isn't going to save us. Joe Manchin isn't. I'm not. What we need is a bottom-up people's movement, just like we saw with the teachers and school service personnel strike. And so it allows us, his announcement allows us to go out and continue to do that work. We've already had 116 town halls all across the state, and that's the work of listening and organizing that we have to keep doing.
Now, we're going to have also a Senate race in 2020, but Joe Manchin will obviously be the senator for whoever ultimately becomes governor in 2020. What's that relationship like? You know, you say that West Virginia doesn't need a king. Joe Manchin was never going to save it, but a lot of people wanted him to come back here. What do you say to those people and people who wonder, will you be able to work well with Senator Joe Manchin if you did become governor?
I have no doubt that we'll be able to work well. The criticism we're making is not of any one politician. That's the whole point. One politician can't achieve the kinds of stuff our state needs. It's going to require all of us. So Senator Manchin has a role in that, being in the Senate, but we all, as West Virginians, have a responsibility to say, it's going to take all of us, organizing in every county, organizing as fellow veterans and seniors and people in recovery, taking control of our government and pitching in. No one person can save us, but I have no doubt that we'll be able to work well.
And you say no one person can save us, and obviously you're implying the West Virginia Can't Wait movement. And how many politicians are you up to right now? How many candidates are you up to?
Yeah, so we have 53 candidates who have all signed a pledge, not just to run, but to not take corporate cash, to never cross a picket line, because we think it's important to be pro-labor in this moment, and to never hide from a debate. And so not just 53 candidates who are agreeing to run for office, for city council, delegate, whatever, but who are running in a different kind of way. And if you're watching this, we hope that's you too. I mean, we are open to and adding more candidates each week.
And you say never to cross a picket line, and you talk about the labor movement. Obviously, a lot of you guys were at the Labor Day picnic with all the union leaders. What were you hearing from some of those unions on what they want from candidates in 2020? Because what I've been hearing is they're taking these issues to the polls now.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So it used to be that in politics, there were politicians that you could rely on to be pro-labor, to stand on the side of working people, not sometimes, not invite them at the table, but every time to stand on the side of working people. And that's what our state needs. That's what we hear from working people. The other thing is just too often working people in the interests of unions aren't being represented even in the discussion. And so for folks who are watching this who are part of a union, get in touch with us. We'd love to come and meet with you. And if you aren't part of a union and there's something happening in your workplace, let us know that too, that we want to help people get organized, that the elections matter, but we can also be involved 365 days a year by organizing in our own workplaces and communities. We want to help with that too.
Obviously, whatever message you're sending out to West Virginia has reached nationwide audiences as well. You got the Elizabeth Warren even tweeting about you. Were you surprised to hear from her in her campaign?
We were, and we don't think it's an acknowledgement of me or one candidate. We think it's an acknowledgement of something that's been happening for a generation in West Virginia, of people doing this kind of bottom-up organizing. We saw it in the teachers and school service personnel strike, the communication workers strike, the organizing that's happening in the Eastern Panhandle with regard to Rockwell, that there is something important happening in our state. The people of our state are taking over, and you even saw that in her statement. It was about the whole movement that's happening here. So it was a pleasant surprise, and I think we're going to get a lot more of that national attention as we continue to fight back.
All right, unfortunately, that's all the time we have. It's going to be an interesting year.
It is. It is an important year, a high-stakes year.
All right, Stephen Smith, thank you so much for being here with us.